Have you ever been lying in a quiet room while your body feels tired, yet your mind keeps replaying old conversations, imagining future disasters, and refusing to let you rest? Overthinking can make even simple choices feel heavy, because every possibility suddenly seems important enough to examine from every painful angle. It may look like deep thinking from the outside, but inside, overthinking often feels less like wisdom and more like being trapped in a room with your own thoughts. Your mind does not usually overthink because it wants to hurt you. It overthinks because it believes that worrying long enough might protect you from getting hurt. But when the mind tries to predict every danger, solve every uncertainty, and prevent every mistake, its protective system can slowly become a prison. In this video, we are going to explore why your mind keeps returning to the same worries, even when you know that thinking about them is not helping. We are going to uncover the hidden fears, habits, and emotional patterns that keep overthinking alive long after the original problem has passed. And by the end, you will see that peace does not come from forcing your mind to become silent, but from learning how to stop treating every thought like an emergency. There is a difference between thinking and overthinking. Thinking helps you understand a situation and choose your next step, while overthinking keeps you circling the same situation without moving anywhere. Overthinking often begins when your mind asks a useful question, but then refuses to accept any answer that is not completely certain. You may replay a conversation and wonder whether you sounded strange, whether someone misunderstood you, or whether you should have said something completely different. You may imagine tomorrow going badly, even when nothing has happened yet, because the unknown can feel more frightening than a problem you can clearly see. Your brain is built to notice possible danger, and that survival system becomes especially active when you feel uncertain, rejected, embarrassed, or out of control. The problem is that your mind cannot always tell the difference between a real danger in front of you and a danger you are only imagining inside your head. When uncertainty feels uncomfortable, overthinking gives you a temporary feeling of control, because analyzing every detail can feel like doing something productive. But the more you chase perfect certainty, the more your brain learns that uncertainty is dangerous and must always be solved before you can relax. Perfectionism can also feed overthinking, because every decision begins to feel like proof of whether you are smart enough, good enough, or worthy enough. Instead of seeing mistakes as normal parts of life, the overthinking mind can treat one small error like a sign that something is deeply wrong. Overthinking becomes stronger when you are afraid of being judged, because the mind starts rehearsing every possible reaction before anyone has even said a word. You begin editing your personality before speaking, checking your appearance before leaving, and questioning your choices before you give yourself a chance to live them. Sometimes overthinking is connected to old experiences, especially when you once learned that mistakes brought criticism, conflict, shame, or sudden disappointment. Your mind may still be using an old protection strategy, even though you are no longer in the same situation that first taught you to be afraid. Another reason overthinking feels so powerful is that unfinished situations stay active in the mind, like a door that your brain keeps checking, because it never feels fully closed. This is why unanswered messages, unclear relationships, unfinished work, and uncertain plans can take up far more emotional space than they seem to deserve. Overthinking becomes louder at night because the distractions of the day finally disappear, leaving your mind alone with everything it postponed feeling. The harder you try to force a thought away, the more attention you give it, and your brain quietly decides that the thought must be important. That is why telling yourself to stop thinking rarely works, because the real issue is not that thoughts appear, but that you keep grabbing onto them. Overthinking can also become a habit when you repeatedly search for reassurance from friends, messages, social media, or endless online advice. Reassurance can calm you for a moment, but when your brain depends on it every time you feel uncertain, it never learns that you can survive uncertainty on your own. The first step out of overthinking is not solving every thought. It is recognizing the moment when your mind has shifted from useful reflection into a painful loop. When you notice yourself replaying the same question again and again, pause and ask whether you are finding new information or simply feeding the same fear. Naming the pattern can create distance, because instead of becoming the thought, you begin to see it as something your mind is doing. You can quietly remind yourself that this is an overthinking loop, not a prediction, not a command, and not proof that something terrible will happen. Then bring your attention back into your body, because your body lives in the present moment even when your mind is racing through imaginary futures. Feel your feet against the floor. Notice the air entering your lungs, and allow yourself to remember that right now, in this exact moment, you are here. Writing your thoughts down can help too, because once a worry leaves your head and lands on paper, it often becomes smaller and more realistic. Instead of asking how you can solve your entire future, ask what one small action is possible today, even if the answer is imperfect. Small action interrupts the loop because it gives your mind something real to respond to, rather than another imaginary problem to analyze. It also helps to separate what is within your control from what belongs to other people, the future, chance, or circumstances you cannot command. You cannot control every outcome, but you can control the honesty of your effort, the kindness of your response, and the next choice you make. Giving yourself a limited time to worry can be surprisingly useful because it teaches your mind that worries can be acknowledged without taking over your entire day. When the thought returns later, you do not have to fight it. You can simply remind yourself that you have already given it space and do not need to keep feeding it. Reducing constant digital noise can also make your mind quieter, because endless scrolling gives your brain more comparisons, more fears, and more unfinished stories to carry. Rest becomes easier when you create gentle rituals that tell your nervous system the day is ending and you no longer need to stay alert. You do not need to become someone who never worries, because worry is human, but you can become someone who no longer lets worry make every decision. Healing from overthinking often means treating yourself with more compassion, especially in the moments when your mind is trying hardest to protect you. Progress is not never getting caught in the loop again. Progress is noticing the loop sooner, stepping out more gently, and returning to your life more quickly. Your mind may never be completely silent, but it can become a place that feels safer, softer, and less exhausting when you stop believing that every thought deserves your full attention.